Slow afternoon, nothing to prove, only the room. Coffee rings and open books, golden lines across the floor. You don't say that much to me, still I listen for a little more. Outside people come and go, like a film without a sound. We don't chase another place, we just let the day slow down. No hurry now, no need to decide. Leave all the noise somewhere outside. Stay until the light gets thin, stay until the evening slips in. No promises, no grand design, just your hand resting close to mine. Stay until the colors fade, stay like nothing has to change. A quiet song, a slower time. Stay for one more glass of wine. Small conversations drift away like smoke above the street. Every word becomes less sharp, every second feels complete. Your eyes move with the window light, soften somewhere else. And for a little while tonight we forget about ourselves. Nothing dramatic, nothing to say, only a moment, only a way. Stay until the light gets thin, stay until the evening slips in. No promises, no grand design, just your hand resting close to mine. Stay until the city sleeps, stay where silence moves so sweet. No one leaves, no need to try. Stay until the night goes by. Stay a while, stay a while. Sunlight dancing on the waves, tiny moments, endless days. Salt air floating through my hair, summer's whisper everywhere. Clouds are drifting slow and light, painting colors in the sky. Nothing rushing, nothing wrong, we belong inside this song. Take my hand, don't look behind, leave the noisy world tonight. Stay with me beneath the blue, every little dream feels true. Ocean breeze and golden light, everything will be alright. Slowly fading into gold, stories waiting to unfold. If tomorrow slips away, let's get lost inside today. Coffee cups and sandy shoes, simple things we never lose. Every laugh becomes a spark, tiny stars before the dark. Summer keeps our hearts awake, every memory we make like a record softly plays, spinning through these endless days. When the evening starts to glow, we'll follow where the warm winds blow. No destination, no stays the same. Sunshine in the air. Love is everywhere. Drifting with the sea. Summer lives in you and me. Sunlight dancing on the waves, flip-flops running through the sand. Windows down, the music loud, nothing better than right now. Lemon skies and salty air, messy hair, I just don't care. Every mile feels so alive, summer keeps us feeling young. Leave the worries far behind, only blue is on my mind. Take my hand and don't look back, we're already on our way. Summer again, we're chasing the wind, laughing out loud, life will never end. Ocean eyes, golden skies, every moment feels so right. Summer again, just you and me, dancing forever by the sea. Oh, sing it with me. Oh, summer is free. Summer is free. Polaroids and 10 lines fade, but tonight is